Shalom, folks. Okay. First Amendment to the Constitution. I think this is the third clause in there. Thereabouts. Third or fourth, depending on how you read it, right? The freedom of the press. Okay. Let's just read that so we're all on board. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press. Okay, or of the press. It's interesting these things are all right there together, isn't it? So freedom of the press, right? I wrote a little thing here. Let me just read it. And this is going to be on my Facebook page, probably right where this post is. I usually even post them right together. The freedom of the press, the purpose of the press. This is just my thoughts. To pass on true information to the people so that the people can make decisions based on accurate information. What do you think? Is that pretty good or what? Reason for the press. To pass on true information to the people so the people can make decisions based on accurate information. And a little note here. If I make a decision based on accurate information and I get it wrong, well, then I'm wrong. I may be right, and then I may be wrong. But if it's accurate information, if I'm not right, I'm wrong. But if I make a decision based on misinformation, I will have been mistaken. Or let's say mistaken. I've been taken advantage of. I've been fed misinformation. I made a decision on misinformation. I was mistaken. And being mistaken is different than being wrong. All right? So when we look at what the press has been doing in the past years, it's been going on for years. Would you call the press, deliverers of news? Or would you call them a political action committee? That's my question. You see, up until just recently, I think it was the IRS. They're the ones with the tax-free stuff, 401c3 tax-exempt organization, which a lot of churches use. And they were telling a lot, not all the churches, but some of them, probably about half of them, that if you were to get involved with politics, you would be considered a political action committee, and your 501c3 tax-exempt status would be in violation, and you would be required to pay back all that you've saved, and you would no longer be a tax-free organization. You'd be in violation because you would be a political action committee instead of a church. So they silenced the churches. And that's what we have been talking about. They took away the freedom of speech and the free exercise thereof. 1, 2, 3, right? So, if what we call the news is actually a political action committee, would they fit the description of being the press? You see, what I'm getting at is, if the press, all the power they've got, put something over the air on their televisions or radios or whatever they use, newspapers, and if it's not accurate, if it's fake, or if it's purposefully misleading, I would call that a political action committee. And they should be responsible for their false reporting. And they shouldn't be able to hide behind the word press and go out and be able to lie about people and just be false presenters of information for people to be misled, to be mistaken with. So this is a problem we have in this country, like it or not, whether you're CNN, Fox News, or whatever. If you're going to say something, I think you should really be responsible to answer for what you're saying and be questioned sometimes. And if it's not true, and if it's damaging, whatever damage you were trying to do to the party that you were trying to damage using your free press words, that damage is yours. And it should be back on you. I think it would keep us honest if that were the case. And I do think that that is biblical, to tell you the truth. Okay? Let's think about that. All right? This is just an open door. Open discussion. And see, if I'm crazy, tell me I'm crazy. If you agree, tell me you agree. And maybe, I don't know if there's any press people watching these things or not. But if there are, come on. Let me know what you're thinking here. Okay? Be free. Take your liberty to discuss it. All right? Shalom, friends.